What appeals to me is you know those outsiders that don't want to go on. You know, they see themselves as individualists and want to mix up their styles, and that you know that's the kind of people that come to the horse hospital, I think.
Uno dei primi, se non è il primo, perché sono molto puntiglioso nella mia...
E allora quando senti urlare, perché io lo sento molte volte, Giorgio Armani è un genio, perché tu poi devo dire che sei molto amato da tutta la stampa intorno al mondo.
Sì, io direi una cosa. Sì.
History showed it, you know, the great man theory of history I'm not a fan of. I think that, like, you get these geniuses every now and again, they pop up and they just change everything for everybody else. It's rubbish. You know, it's rubbish. It's people, all good ideas are built on bouncing stuff back and forward. You know, no matter what fashion, but everyone nicks everybody else. That's what makes people great. You know, and that's why you need you need physical spaces where you can do that, you know, which don't actually, you know, which make people comfortable enough to explore.
I mean, I think one of the interesting ideas about fashion, about clothing, is the way that you go through fashion and different forms of clothing, different forms of identity as a person, and how you and your clothing relate to yourself at different forms, at different parts of your own existence. I mean, for myself, I know that I used to spend a lot of time developing an image that I was pleased with regards to the mirror. And so that the image I created in the mirror was then the image that I could then present to the world. I've gotten out of that one now, which is good, because that you know, that takes up a lot of time. And so I think there's a difference between becoming a thing for yourself and becoming a thing for other people. For myself at the moment, I think clothing, a lot of clothing is primarily about fucking, and so you present, I'll say I, so I think, you know, I would present to the world an image of myself that would want to be fucked, and that's kind of the present idea of myself, but then I'm kind of putting myself out into the world as an object and as a creator in myself. For me, clothes, as well as being about fucking, are about economics. You put back as much money into areas that you would agree with as you possibly can, and there are aspects of clothing whereby, you know, I buy stuff at my local trade shop, and that's the way that goes, and whatever that has in, I then buy, and then after wearing it for a couple of weeks, you give it back, and then it's kind of simple. It's also, you know, kind of high commoditization of clothing, which is kind of weird in itself. The idea that you can just go and you can buy an outfit for £5, wear that for 2 weeks, then give it back, and then buy another outfit for £5. So you can constantly change yourself. I'm not entirely sure of what that means with regards to, I don't know whether I'm just reflecting a larger scale idea of people who buy box dress trainers every week and people who kind of wear completely new clothes that obviously cost, is in a different economic bracket. One of the things that I think is interesting with regards to that idea, though, is the fetishization of the more economically problematic aspects of clothing. So you see certainly within gay culture, you see a fetishization of working class clothing. So you see a fetishization of Nike, Reebok, academics gear at the moment, which people then sexualize, actively sexualize. And I don't know whether that's a dirtying of those objects, which is one way of looking at it. That the idea that if somebody is a trainer fetishist and they use those trainers for sex, is that a kind of a total soiling of the idea, or is it praying to the idea of these particular gods that we've got at the moment, the sweatshop gods of Nike, whether, if you do toss off on a pair of Nikes, whether that's actually adding power to them or whether it's taking away from it.